Hi, my name is James. 29 years old. Currently at my mum's house. Currently at my mum's house because I don't have any money or a job or a profession. My girlfriend left me a couple of weeks ago. And it's been 8 years since I left university, studied philosophy, and for 4 of those years, I was working at a company, and for the other 4, I haven't been. And I reached a bit of a dilemma point because I'm 29, and at this point, you should know what you're doing with your life. And also, as I said, no money. So initially, my thoughts were go back into a similar job that I had. I worked at a startup and I was doing growth marketing type of stuff, getting people to use the product. So I applied to similar sort of jobs to that remotely and got a final round interview. That reminds me, I need to email someone who I've got an interview with today. Got a final round interview on Monday coming up. And that idea was to make some money. But then the more I've been thinking about it, I don't like that idea anymore. I'll tell you for why. I realised that what I've been craving for the last... Well, I watched a Tony Robbins video and he said what you need is certainty. Certainty. And I've got such a doubtful mind. I do have a doubtful mind. And I was thinking, what is it that I could be certain about? You need certainty because once you have certainty, the rest of the circle works. But if you're not certain in yourself, none of the flywheel will start. So I was thinking to myself, what am I certain enough about to pursue? And when I was from about the age of 8 to 18, I was trying to become a professional rugby player with my dad. We would do training every night. And I ended up being captain of my county, which was Yorkshire, but didn't become a pro, which is what I was aiming for. And I found out on New Year's Eve when I was 18 years old. And it was crushing. And I think for the 10 and a bit years since then, I've been circling around the topic. I don't know if you remember there was these 2p domes in Morrison's, I think. And you could put a 2p in and it would spiral around the outside and get closer and closer until it would eventually drop. And I think 10 years ago, when I didn't make the professional cut, 2p got dropped in and I was just circling around the issue, and I've tried different things. I worked for a startup for 4 years. I tried to become a singer-songwriter in London. I started my own gardening business, tried to start a tribe in Cornwall recently, which I got kicked out of ultimately, like School of Rock. And yeah, I've just been thinking recently, what is it that ties all these things together? And it's the penny's finally dropped, and it's, I really desire to become masterful at something, to have a craft and to really become masterful at it. And that's the link, startup, you have to be really good, you have to be committed, but that wasn't quite right. I don't love technology, I don't like staring at a laptop all day. Singer-songwriter, same thing. I love making songs, but it just wasn't for me, the life. The uncertainty, a lot of it, and also I wasn't good enough. And I wasn't willing to put in the hours on the guitar to become good. I'd like to become really good enough. Gardening business, again, you have to be committed, and be good at it for it to work, but I just don't like gardening that much. I don't even like doing it in my spare time. Just the easiest way I've found to get into that type of thing. And then ultimately I've come stumbling back to my mum's house. And now, after a month of being here, I got a bit depressed when my girlfriend left me and my mum started to get a bit aggravated with me for just lying on the floor all day and not helping and not cooking and not washing up or anything like that, which is fair enough. Her partner came round and had a go at me as well. Don't blame him. But in that fiery moment, I did a lot of crying. In that fiery moment, it made me think, do I just want to keep kicking the can down the road with getting a sales job and not really committing to something, or do I want to fucking take the bull by the horns, take the donkey by the tail, and do something? And yeah, there's 5 things that I love really: music, emotional stuff, helping people understand themselves, understanding myself emotionally, somatically, working with children. I want people to have a better education than I did, basically. Writing, and then working with wood. And tried music, emotional. I could be some sort of counsellor or something like that, but it doesn't feel right at the moment. The children stuff, I think that'll happen when I hopefully have children, but it doesn't seem like the right thing to pursue now. Then it was writing or some sort of woodwork craft. And writing, I do it anyway, and I actually want to have someone to teach me how to, a guide, a teacher, something I've been missing, because I find it hard to just keep going by myself, and I want someone who's already at the pinnacle to teach me. So yeah, I decided to go for attaining mastery of some sort of woodworking craft. And recently I was living on a boat by a boatyard and seeing the shipwrights there and the boat builders there. It was kind of inspiring. They seem to have some sort of magical vibe about them, some sort of magical power. So I don't know if this is the one I'm going to end up doing, but for the moment I'm committing to boat building, and if it's not that, I'll move into other woodworking crafts like traditional furniture making or something like that. But it's definitely going to be mastering some sort of woodworking craft. And so far I've built a list of all of the boat builders in Cornwall and all the boat builders in Scotland, and I've called the first 5 in Cornwall, and one of them, the 5th one I called, they are hiring interns. So last night I sent my CV and a cover letter, and he wanted a photo of my face as well, so I sent that. And yeah, basically I'm not going to stop until I become a master woodworking craftsman in whatever shape that takes. And I've started this channel to... Oh, sneeze coming along. Or maybe this is some sort of emotional response, I don't know. I've started this channel to document my progress there. And yeah, there's a lot of people out there who do this type of thing, and I always think the world doesn't need more content, but it's more as a thing to myself to show up, to keep showing up. So I'm just going to say what I plan to do today, and tomorrow I'll say whether I did it and what I plan to do tomorrow, and I'll just keep doing that whenever I have the days to do so. Potentially got a Vipassana retreat coming up in about a week, so 10 days off then, potentially, if I go. I'm not sure what the situation's going to be with this boat building stuff. So yeah, what I'm doing today is walked brick. Actually, I don't know if that matters. I haven't decided on the format yet, but I'm going to walk brick, make at least 50 calls to boat builders in the UK. Do a bit of spoon whittling. That's kind of the most crafty thing I can do with wood at the moment with my resources here. Or the thing that I feel like I can actually, the easiest thing to do. Tidy up. I'm going to hoover. I want to do something every day that's nice for mum as well. I need to eat lunch and eat supper because sometimes I don't do that. Do a little 5-minute meditate as well. And then water the garden if necessary. Alright, might as well make this exactly 10 minutes long.